Alright, so good evening once again. This is Lui Pior. And for today's topic, ladies and gentlemen, so right now I'm going to try to speak in English, so that this video will not just cover Philippines, but anywhere from the globe, like US or other countries, other foreign countries. Okay, so the topic for this evening, or the topic I'm going to share this evening is, I said it here in my whiteboard. The topic is how to be successful in whatever you do, or in whatever field you are in as of this moment. Okay, so it's very important for us to have this mindset that we want to become successful, so that when the time comes that we wanted to what do you call this, spend for something, and we can afford it, that is the perfect time for us, no, to really say that we are successful, because we can afford to do the things that before we cannot afford to do. Okay, let's say having time, precious time with your family, or traveling around the world, or some areas, some countries, let's say for example. So those are the things that you cannot do if you are not successful doing some areas in your life, like specifically your career. Okay, so that's the topic that we're going to talk about this very evening, since it is evening in our country here in the Philippines. Okay, so the first thing that you have to consider, again, I write it down here in my whiteboard so that I cannot miss all the things that you should consider for you to become successful in your field or in your expertise. Okay, it's either you're an employee or you are an entrepreneur, it doesn't matter. Okay, whatever you do in life, you just have to make sure that you're going to follow all these yung things, no? Necessary things for you to be able to become successful in your field of expertise or career. So number one, you should know first what you really want in life. Okay, so it's like what do you call this one? A self-awareness, that you should be aware of the things that you want and you don't want. But for this topic, now I'm going to focus more on the things that you want, because we are what we are trying to accomplish here is to become successful in your career. So let's say, for example, for you to be able to know what you want, is you have to ask yourself first. Okay, so what I'm trying to accomplish, what are the things that I'm trying to accomplish here? So why I'm here in this field? Let's say you are in sales. What do I really want? Why I'm here in sales? Let's say you want to become the top in sales in your company. Okay, so that is what you want. You want to become successful, you want to be promoted, etc., etc. So that's the first thing that you have to consider for you to become successful. Number two is know your interests. Okay, because why we want to make sure that we know our interests, personal interests, it's because achieving success is not for a short period of time. Most of the time, you can acquire success in a long process. Others may achieve it for 1 year, and others may also achieve it in 2 years. But if you want to go long term, you are expecting yourself to become successful for after 5 to 10 years, and you're expected to do that consistently for you to enjoy all the things that you want to achieve in your life. So you must accomplish long term. So that's number two, know your interests. Okay, so that you'll become more comfortable on whatever you do in your company or in your business. Let's see, your interest, personal interest is you like to play basketball. So while doing your job or doing your business, you can also make a team in your company to have this inside. The interest that you want to apply this inside your team or your company. Okay, so you want to play basketball, let's say for example. So you can have these activities while you're accomplishing some goals, so that you will also enjoy having time with your team or with your company, okay, that you're involved with. So that's number 2. And number 3 is know your capacity. If you want to achieve something, if you want to succeed in your career, you must know your capacity first. Because if you don't know your capacity, ladies and gentlemen, and you're expecting that you're going to accomplish these things, and for you, you know that it's impossible to achieve at this level, because there are certain things that you should be able to acquire, let's say skills that you should be able to acquire in order to achieve some goals that you have, okay, or some things that you want. So it should be aligned. Now your capacity towards your interest to your wants should be aligned, together as one. Because if it's not aligned, mean to say you cannot achieve whatever goals you have in mind or whatever you want in your career while you are staying in the company or in your business. So that's number 3. And of course, you should also know your capabilities. So when we say capacity, it has a limit. When we say capabilities, it's more of your potential. Okay. So when we say capabilities is something that you have already accomplished from the past, and it is potential to be accomplished in the future. So that's your capability or capabilities. Okay. So that you can also prove to yourself that you know your capabilities. So I'm confident enough that I can do certain task that is being provided to you, or that is being provided to you by yourself if you are an entrepreneur. So you should know your capabilities. And also talking about the strengths and weaknesses. Okay, so why is it so? Because if you know your strength, in short, you also know it aligns with your capacity and your capabilities, right? And the strength that you have is not just limiting you towards your strengths. No, it can be done by tapping more people, no, in the later part. So if you want to achieve it with your team, it can be done. Because let's say, for example, part of your strength is you are successful in managing people. You are successful in empowering people. So that's your strength. And the weaknesses is, ladies and gentlemen, it's the difference between strengths is the weakness. So let's see, you can manage to have more people inside your team, but you are not so good in terms of selling or closing a deal. So you should be able to improve certain things that you're not good at. Okay, so that's the reason why we should identify our strengths and weaknesses. Okay, so aside from that is, diba I said we already talked about goals, right? Because aside from your goals is you should be able to know what you want. That's the first thing that you should consider, right? So when that time comes that you should know, or you already know what you want, so you should be able to know as well what are your long-term and short-term goals. Okay, let's say you want to accomplish in this month, no, for example, within this month you want to accomplish, let's say you're in sales, you want to accomplish like having this income, let's say 100,000 for this month. So it should be specific. And then the long term is within the year, no, accomplishing this 100,000 consistently, but you are still expecting that you are going to have a total income of 1 million, let's say for example, because you have the potential right now. because it can be done. 100,000, it can be done because you've already accomplished it in the past months. Let's say you have short-term goals. So that's the importance of short-term goals and the long-term goals. So the short-term goals, it's within your capacity and capabilities. The long-term goals is within your potential, the possibilities. Okay, that's a long-term. Now, when we say you should know your deadline, is that basically if this is not possible within 1 year, I'm sure this is possible within 2 years or 3 years. So you must set a deadline. No? It's like a calendar of you have a calendar of your long-term and short-term goals. It's like that. Okay, or deadline when it comes to accomplishing tasks, not just having this income, not just that. Maybe you set a deadline when it comes to acquiring many people. Let's say acquiring new people inside your organization. Okay, so that's a deadline. And of course, there's so many other things to consider, but I think this is the best thing that you should consider. No, above all those things that I mentioned a while ago, is that you must know, no, your happiness. Okay, you must know that you are happy doing these things, accomplishing these things, or what you call this one is, you must know that whenever you do a certain task, you must feel happy or satisfied or more than satisfied. Okay, I'm not trying to say that you should be always happy every time, but what I'm trying to say is that when you feel accomplished, it means you're happy. Okay, and before you start this what do you call this one, this goal, no, this goal or this project, you set your mind that you set your mind first that it is very necessary that you are happy doing what you really want to do or what you love to do. So it's like you also love what you do, because if the time comes that in the first place you don't identify this, what we call as your happiness, I know for sure that you will not become successful later on. Let's say you're successful doing this this task, these goals, let's say in the first to second to third month, but you don't have the end in mind that you're going to accomplish this for so many years, that you only stayed in one company or you only stayed in that business that you started. Meaning to say, you should also identify that you'll become happy accomplishing more goals in this project, in this company, or in this business. Okay, so for me, these are what we call as how many other things? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These 9 things are the most necessary things that you should be considering, or you should consider in order for you to become successful doing certain project or having a business, or if you are an employed of a certain company. Okay, so for me, no, based on my assessment, based on my experience, you cannot really become successful if you don't have these things, these 9 things. Okay, so you should always consider having these 9 things first before you're going to decide whether you're going to do this certain project or not. It's because if you don't identify all those necessary things, you're just wasting your time, your effort, and your resources, including your energy as well. Okay, so before you're going to do certain thing, certain task, certain project, you must first consider all these things. Okay, I don't know if above all these things that I mentioned, there are still certain things that you should consider. But for me, this is the thing. These are the things that I can think of for you to become successful. Okay, so I think this is the end of my sharing. This is the end of my topic for today's video. I hope that you learned something from this. No, although I'm trying to speak in full English, but you know what? I'm still struggling. Okay, but on the later part, no, doing this videos, I want you to understand that what I'm trying to do here is to also accomplish something, to be able to learn from this videos that I'm sharing in my YouTube account, in my YouTube channel, no, to practice this one, to manage my weaknesses, and also to be able to help other people on the process. Okay, so that's it for today's topic, ladies and gentlemen. So that's the end of my video. So again, the topic is how to be successful in whatever you do. And this is Lui Pior, and you're watching our YouTube channel, which is under the RTRIAD group. Okay, so see you on the next video. Thank you so much. Have a good evening to all of you. Bye-bye.